So the Poco M7 Pro is, let's face it, unlikely to set yours or anyone else's pants on fire with sheer excitement. But what it is a respectably spec'd £200 budget smartphone that actually beats some flagship phones in a couple of departments, including some reasonably fast charging battery tech, 256 gigs of expandable storage, and a gorgeous bright and poppy 6.67 inch AMOLED display. And oh yes, you actually get a headphone jack as well. When was the last time you saw one of those buggers? So anyway, let's whip the Poco M7 Pro out of the box, again, because as you can see I've already done it. Took it a full tour of the camera tech, the gaming shenanigans, all that good stuff. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So what do you get in that lovely bright yellow box besides, of course, the Poco M7 Pro 5G? Well, my review model comes with one 45-watt power adapter. Of course, whether you get one of these bad boys will kind of depend on where you live. Got a USB Type A to Type C charging cable. And oh yes, Poco has rather pleasingly stuffed in a condom case to help protect your M7 Pro, which is rather kind considering it is a budget-friendly blower. And there you go, and that's everything you get stuffed inside the box. Now I've got to say, my first impressions with the Poco M7 Pro were pretty decent. Does it feel cheap and plastic? Yes, of course it does. It's a £200 phone. But it's not bad looking either, to be fair. Starting from that front end, the bezels surrounding the screen aren't too chunky. They do spread out a wee bit down below and up above, but nothing horrendous by any means. It's a 6.67 inch smartphone, so not horrendously huge, reasonably comfortable to clutch, helped along by the fact that it's quite a slimline smartphone, with a wee bit of gentle curvature for the rear end. My review model is the green version, and as you can see there, you've got a bit of dual design going on. You've got a narrow frosted strip over on the left side, and then the right side it goes a bit more mental. And you've got this sort of shimmer and wave effect instead. I rather like the design. You certainly can't accuse the Poco M7 Pro of being bland, although I can imagine some people accusing it of looking like a bag of cat sick. Certainly not everyone has appreciation for these sort of patterned designs. I especially enjoy how that green finish stretches all the way around the frame, including the edges. And yes, the old camera bump too. And hey, don't stress if green isn't your thing, because you can also grab the M7 Pro in silver or purple. It's reasonably rugged for a budget smartphone. Got a bit of Gorilla Glass 5 up front protecting that display, as well as a pre-installed screen protector. And the dust resistance has slightly increased over the previous generation. It's now IP64 rated. It's no real stress if you take it to the beach or whatever, and it can handle getting reasonably moist, although I'd certainly try and avoid dropping it in a bath or taking it in the shower or whatever. Now, like pretty much every Android these days, you've got a bit of in-display fingerprint sensor action, which so far seems perfectly fine. And if your hands are super wet or super dry, then yes, it'll probably struggle a wee bit. But then you do always have a wee bit of face unlock as backup. Unfortunately, when you have a wee squint at the software side of things, that's where the budget roots really start to show. You see, I was somewhat startled to discover that the Poco M7 Pro is running HyperOS version 1 rather than version 2, which has been out for a wee while. And yes, this is still slapped on top of old Android 14. And as for software support, don't expect too much at all from Poco on this one. I believe they promised 2 OS updates and 4 years of security support. Of course, one of those OS updates will be just bringing it in line with pretty much every other Android device with a bit of Android 15 and HyperOS 2. And as for the 4 years of security support, well, the security patches will probably come through once every few months. As it is right now, it's on a February the 1st security patch. So not the most recent. However, thankfully much better news on the storage front, because you get 256 gigs of the stuff crammed into the Poco M7 Pro by default. And if you want 256 gigs of storage on an iPhone or a Google phone or something, you'll have to actually pay for the privilege. And not only that, but also if you flip over the double-sided SIM tray, you'll see that there's space in that second slot for a micro SD memory card to expand the storage even further. And no real surprises when it comes to the connectivity, etc. You do have NFC support for contactless payments, bit of portable hotspotting, etc. Although sadly, no eSIM support on here, which does come in quite handy if you happen to do a lot of traveling. And you know, good old HyperOS be HyperOSing as always. You've got all those Google staples like the Discover feed, you've got your apps tray, An apps tray which is sadly absolutely laden with crap where Booking.com and Facebook and LinkedIn and all those buggers are back, just to ensure you'll spend a good chunk of that first day absolutely uninstalling the crap out of loads of stuff you do not need. Bye bye. Great to see good old Tile Fun still going strong. And yes, HyperOS can be a wee bit shonky at times. In some ways it's quite nicely laid out, and in other ways it's an absolute horror show, like the number of steps it takes to actually change the wallpaper to something that you've downloaded. The word ball ache would certainly be applicable here. But hey, one of the areas where the Poco M7 Pro absolutely smashes it out the park and defies that budget asking price is the gorgeous 6.67-inch AMOLED display. It's a 2400 by 1080 pixel resolution panel. So nice sharp visuals despite the fact it's a reasonably spacious panel. You've actually got HDR10 streaming support in the likes of Netflix as well, so pretty crispy contrast. Got attractive natural looking visuals and proper poppy colours as well, which is perfect if you're an anime nerd like myself. Great for animated fare in general. Viewing angles are excellent and everything, and the Poco M7 Pro's screen is bright enough to comfortably use outdoors as well. Seems to be a wee bit brighter than the previous Poco M generation. So no squinting when it's a wee bit sunny. You've also got 960Hz PWM dimming if you're a bit more sensitive to that OLED flickering in low light. And the refresh rate maxes out at 120Hz, bottoms off at 60Hz as well. Obviously no LTPO tech, that would be a bit much to ask for 200 quid. And Poco has slapped a respectable audio setup here on the M7 Pro as well. You've got a stereo speaker arrangement with full Dolby Atmos support, high-res audio support, all the good stuff.
So here's a wee riddle for you. What's normally 4 inches but expands to 7 inches with a bit of light fumbling, and is guaranteed to get you all kinds of looks if you whip it out down the pub? Why, it's the Motorola Razr 60 Ultra, of course.
Those built-in speakers are pretty loud on maximum volumes. You can clearly hear what's going on in your favourite YouTube tech twat video, even if there's a lot of noise going on all around you. Of course, the audio quality is slightly tinny and the balance isn't quite right. That bottom speaker certainly more powerful than the old earpiece speaker, but again, for 200 quid, what do you expect? And hey, did I mention 3.5mm headphone jack? Oh god, I've missed you. Now the brains of the Poco M7 Pro is MediaTek's Dimensity 7025 Ultra. And this seems to be a bit of a growing trend in 2025. People just slapping Pro or Ultra at the end of a chipset name to make it sound more swanky than it actually is. So the 7025 Ultra seems to have the exact same number of cores, the exact same GPU, etc. as the regular 7025, which was also stuffed, incidentally, into the Redmi Note 14 5G. It's backed by either 8 or 12 gigs of RAM, depending on which model you go for. I've got the 12 giga. And everyday general performance is reasonably smooth. You will notice some lag when you open up the likes of the camera app. And if you are a gamer, don't even bother with stuff like Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves. The Poco M7 Pro is much more comfortable with heavily optimized titles like PubG or good old Call of Duty. Certainly COD played quite nicely here on the M7 Pro with a respectable frame rate even on higher graphics settings. Didn't notice any serious judders in that frame rate at all. Stayed nice and smooth throughout a handful of games, didn't heat up or anything like that, and the screen responsiveness pretty solid as well. And you've got full support for 5G as well, although it is Wi-Fi 5 support, bit old and creaky these days. And bugger all complaints on the battery front. You've got a 5110 mAh capacity cell stuffed inside of that lovely green chassis. And the fact that it's quite a capacious battery, combined with the fact you've got that energy efficient Dimensity chipset, means all day play, no stress whatsoever. You'll get probably around 9 or 10 hours of screen on time with mixed use. Obviously you can drop that a wee bit if you're rinsing the camera or playing lots of games or whatever. But take it easy on this thing and you'll get a full weekend of action on a single charge. And when it comes to recharging, again, the Poco M7 Pro certainly doesn't disappoint for that £200 price point. You've got 45 watt wired charging, which gets faster than some flagships that you'll find from the likes of Apple and Google. Although it is also, unfortunately, a slight downgrade over the previous generation for some reason. And when it comes to wireless charging support, nay, none of that. And there's not really any shocks or surprises when it comes to the good old camera tech. It's a pretty basic setup on here. You've got yourself a 50 megapixel main shooter using Sony's IMX882 sensor. You do actually get optical image stabilization, which helps out with the low light shooting. But even though it appears to be a dual lens setup here, what that second camera actually is a basic depth sensor for your portrait snaps, etc. So much like the iPhone 16e, there is no ultra wide angle shooter here. But yeah, you got all the usual tools and features stuffed on here, including the obligatory beautify mode, plenty of filters. You've got a 50 megapixel high resolution mode, portrait mode, night mode, and if you flip to more, you'll see there's a dedicated pro mode here too. And sadly, there doesn't seem to be any way of shooting raw images, but you get plenty of other great features like a bit of the focus peaking. And here's just a handful of sample shots that I snapped with the Poco M7 Pro in full auto mode. As you can see, quite a basic snapper. Your indoor and low light shots will look a bit grainy, and any kind of motion does tend to bulk things up a bit. And yes, we're talking pretty basic when it comes to the video capture as well. It maxes out at 1080p Full HD resolution. You can't even boost it up to 60 frames per second. So I certainly set your expectation levels on the sort of lower side of the scale. But if the optics are a priority for you, definitely check out my roundup of the best budget camera phones in 2025 for some alternative options. And then up front on the Poco M7 Pro, you've got yourself a 20 meg selfie camera, which again maxes out at Full HD. It's absolutely fine for your bit of video chatting, etc. The audio capture is actually pretty clear and clean. So yeah, so do your job for your bit of basic vlogging, etc. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a delicious wee nutshell is the fresh new Poco M7 Pro. Not exactly going to set the world alight with its incredible abilities or anything like that, but for a £200 budget phone, it's got some pretty decent skills, including a gorgeous AMOLED display, which is an absolute stunner, this sort of budget price. The performance is perfectly okay. The battery life is excellent. You've got to limit your expectations when it comes to that camera tech and also the general software experience and support. Anyway, that's what this tired, haggard, hungover northern twat reckons. Be great to hear your thoughts on the Poco M7 Pro down in the comments below. I would say I've rounded up not just my favourite best budget camera phones of 2025, but also my best budget phones in general, if you want some alternative options. In the meantime, please do box subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a rosy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you!